For that, we need to learn the things so that we need to earn in life. So exactly. So once I started that, either you can join the job or you can start something of your own, just like all the co-panelists have joined started something in their life at that particular time. To start something, what the basic need is, you must have some idea, right? Might be possible some of you have some idea, but you don't have the funds. Some of you might be having the funds but don't have the idea. What if somebody having the funds and have the idea too, but they don't know how to implement the same? They don't have the team. So that's why there comes the concept of the startup. That government is there, they came out with the policies that you come with the idea and they came with the incubation centers. That particular might be possible. The team sir is saying that in future you might have your own incubation center over here. What these incubation centers are basically doing, that if you have any idea in your mind that will be for the benefit of public at large or might be a good idea in future for the business, the incubation center will provide you the best professionals, best guidance, the funds, and every possible support, the infrastructure, research support, they will provide. So this is not just about your MBA class, course, or this particular lecture. I think you need to attend this particular lecture or any of sort lecture that you need to earn in your life because of this. Because might be possible there is no such idea in your mind. But by the time you complete your MBA, you are full of ideas. So there might be chances that any of such questions might not come in your mind on the spot. That you want to ask this or what can be done, this or what should not be done. So I'm covering this particular moderation in such a way that I will ask the questions on your behalf. And at the end of session, if any of such questions left out, you just feel free to ask, because till the time you didn't ask the questions, the panelists will not understand that what the basic query is all about. Hope I'm clear? Right. So we will just discuss about that, how the funds can be arranged, how the technical teams can be arranged, how the ideas can be fulfilled, and how the startup registration can be done, or what kind of startup registration is there, what government is providing, what all facilities government is providing, and everything we will cover. So I will just ask all the panelists that to whomsoever is interested, they can take that particular question. So if I just talk about what are the key elements that make up a successful startup ecosystem in India?
Let's go far.
Thank you so much. First of all, I'm very much thankful to the management and the faculty member of the Jaipuria Institute of Management. I had visited once, that time also, interacting with the student, but it was in 2017-18, I guess. And this is my second time visiting, here. I think this is very interesting questions Mr. Suryakant has raised. Important elements of building the ecosystem. So particularly, for the college, since I have worked into the academic institution as a professor, as a CEO, and now I'm also running my own startup. And I also have one Indo-Arab Angel Network, which is a corridor between Middle East countries and Indian ecosystem, because Middle East is putting a lot of money in the Indian technology-based startup. So we have created a corridor. So understanding the investment industry, we understand the corporate venture capital, corporate venturing, and we also understand, the college and their student mindset. So through this experience, I would like to take, especially, how you can build the ecosystem in the college. The number one challenge which we have witnessed, in fact, when I was at IIM Lucknow and building the incubation center of IIM Lucknow, most of the students are coming with the mindset that I'm joining MBA program, and post MBA program the college has to provide me placement. So number one challenge is the mindset. Their mindset is already set. I'm joining the X institution, and that X institution has to promise me for the job as an exit option. Second thing is that the real challenge with the student is mostly, I was talking about little, higher fees and all. they are carrying some loan. Maybe you're 12 lakh, 13 lakh, 14 lakhs. So immediately if you are going and saying to the student, hey, don't you think that you will start your own enterprise? So they are saying that, okay, I'm carrying a burden of the loan. And my parents doesn't have, that much to give me again, the money or helping me out. Okay, I'll take care about your loan and you do whatever you want to do. So as an institution, what kind of the mechanism can we build? That's a big challenge. And as per my recent research, what are the obstacles of creating a student enterprises? It is saying that this is the major challenge. Number one, mindset. Second is the financial burden on the student. And third is the culture or the support system built within the college. So the culture and the support system is one, like Madam Ansars has already organized some awareness program. But more than that, I would say, before going for the incubation, let's start inculcating entrepreneurial culture and mindset through ESET. ESET doesn't require, much fund. ESET does not require any kind of the administrative structure and doesn't require any kind of, the operating procedures for the approval and all those jargons. So one or two faculty member can become the coordinator and the student can create, the ESET. And tomorrow you can become the ESET of IIT Bombay, right? Which is the largest organizations in this country, even bigger than the Sign IIT Bombay. ESET IIT Bombay has the larger canvas than the Sign IIT Bombay. So these are few points in terms of, the creating the ecosystem within the campus. And then later you can go for the incubations and all. It has its own separate story and journey. And just to cut short, if we talk about the Indian ecosystem, Indian ecosystem is gradually evolving. And now, the money infusion has, started. So in initial phase, investors were ready to take the risk even at your idea stage, plan level. And they were seeing just only one thing, whether do you have the chance to raise the second round of fund or not. So if as an investor, I am convinced that, okay, this company can raise the second round of the fund, then they were giving the money, right? But now the investor ecosystem is much matured. And now they are seeing only profitable model. Is the startup has a sustainable profitable model or not? If you are not having this sustainable profitable model, then it is very difficult to bring the investor on the cap table. Because earlier it was just a bubble, like the jargon of valuations and all those things. And we were making a very nice art and science of the cash flow and beautiful financials model and all. And it was working. But now investors community is very, very matured. I have also personally invested about 10, 15, including SIP and Go Mechanic. Right. These are the two portfolio skill answers. 3, 4 startups. We have got a good success story. Of course, Go Mechanic has some corporate governance issues and all. But this is, like the ecosystem, what we are seeing as a matured, but yes, as awareness and, like the richness programs, India has, like the emerged one of the best ecosystem of the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Basically, sir, what is the role of the innovation if we talk about the startup ecosystem? So what role the innovation plays on startup system?
Yeah, innovation itself need to be understood first. See, because most of the time people are thinking that innovation means the technology innovation only. Let me tell you, my dear, I am also from the management. I'm MBA and I teach MBA students also. Where innovation says two things. One is that technology or the products innovations which engineers does. We don't do. But the biggest thing what we do as a management professional, is the process innovation, the model innovations, where you all have to play a very, very big role. I think this is a very good question, right? So innovation is a profitable implementation of idea. Innovation is not innovation unless it is converted into the profitable implementation. For example, to understand, I say that the shampoo sachet is the biggest innovation into the distribution. Right? Earlier, the bottle of shampoo was costly 100 rupees, 200 rupees, and everybody cannot buy. So the management professionals like you has developed a distribution model and bringing the same product into 1 rupee sachet. And just considering the theory, bottom of pyramid of Professor C.K. Prahlad, and now see the market size. So this kind of the innovation, this kind of the process and model innovations are expected from the management school students. You are going to the major role player. So don't think that innovation, it means management is student, nothing else to do. No, the major 90% role you are going to do. Cash on delivery, seller model, all these things are the innovation. And who is doing it? You, it means the management, the students, or management gurus.
Very right, sir. And this is quite good to say that if there is any issue or problem, then the solution can turn out to be innovation. And when you provide the innovation, any of the new idea, that turned out to be a new business for you. That, like sir said, like example, what these guys are doing, because the product is available all around. They are just saving your time. Their team need not to go out, just that product will be delivered in 10 minutes to your office, to their home, anywhere. So innovation is required. We just need to ease out the working daily life of the human, and you can earn on that particular basis. And if I just ask the question from Shailza ma'am, because it might be the area of interest for us, she is running homestays in India, that's being innovative idea. So ma'am, basically what's the balance between the innovation and the traditional business practices involving during the all startups and everything? What's the role of the traditional practices and the innovations? How you can just club both of this together?
Yeah, so I think it's very crucial for any business, any startup to have that balance for a sustainable profitability, which sir was talking about. Now, innovation, like when startups just started, it was like innovation, creativity, new ideas, new thoughts. But then the traditional setups, that the stability that they had, the systems, proven systems over the time that they had created, we forgot about that. That is where I think many startups, because of forgetting this part, they fail. Many startups face that problem. So it's very important to have a balance between both the innovation as well as the yeah. So for us also, and Homestays of India, we see there are a lot of creative ideas are coming, and we can get a new tech, and a lot of other things are there. But then at the same time, we need to understand that the other side. We need to understand the customer as well. Like customer is used to of older patterns, and there are there are both sides to it. So we have to maintain a balance that if he wants to talk over a phone, we have to have someone available over the phone as well, not just everything online. Right, so for the balance of it's a very small example, but yeah, smaller things make a bigger decisions. So small have to like the decision makers always have to keep that in mind, that there has to be a proper balance between the two.
Right. Well, obviously we need to stay connected from our roots. That's why all the old Indian habits are coming as a culture in future. The Western culture is adopting the Indian history. So we need to stay connected with our roots. If we just follow the traditional practice and add on the new innovating things, we have the websites, we have the online social platforms for the marketing, the Insta page, Facebook page. We can use those tools, but we need not to keep aside all the traditional practices, because we need to grow all together. And if I just talk about the other panelist, the Saurabh Agrawal ji, he's a tech person, and he's, I will say, the most innovative, the ideas he is discussing over here. So I just like to take the question from him. That's being a youth icon, I will say that what changes you feel the policy should have, because if we need to have any of this startup, you should have the supporting government policies, because all the efforts will be in vain if there is no supporting government policy. So what's the role you think that policy plays in any of the startup? What changes should be done in the policies?
Thank you so much, first of all, Jaipuria Institute and the management and this team panelist. I'm feeling privileged here sitting next to you all. I would like to just add a few things and then answer this question. Just sharing something about my journey, the way it started. I'm from a business family, was in US doing something else, thought, we all need to have lucrative jobs. But somehow I realized that money doesn't always, shines, and that's not the only thing that you want. So, of course, to the people here, students here, I think you all need to find your purpose, is what I would say. Somehow I realized it later, and I meet a lot of founders who have spent 30 years in career and then started something new, or 40 years in career. So yeah, so you got a golden chance, you're doing MBA here, and see if you found your purpose or an idea that you want to do, go for it. And just to add on this process part that you were talking about, that you want to do the innovation on process. I tried to do some innovation in my brother's distribution business. That's what you were referring to, that the MBA guys can do it, and the model basically matters. So sometimes, while we were doing the optimizations on various aspects, we ended up in a lot of adoption issues. The businesses here are run by people. So being a technology person, you need to understand there's a people aspect to it while you're trying to put a system in place. So there has to be a fine balance wherein you make solutions or products wherein it gets adopted. So that's one of my learnings, where I felt that you need to know the ground reality, and only then you should go and vouch for an idea. If you are just thinking out loud, you saw something and you thought of an idea in a room and you discussed with a few of your colleagues and you said, okay, yeah, this looks good, let's go for it. And anyways, there's a policy in India where you are able to get some recognition around startups. So e-cells are there, or AIC centers are there. But I would still recommend you guys to get to the last mile, feel it yourself, whether it makes sense or not, only then go for it. Now coming to the question around the policy for us. So frankly speaking, when I came back from US and I thought to start up my own, I was really excited by seeing that Startup India movement is there, and so it helped me a lot. I registered myself there, but yes, it was a little, I would say I could not get anything from it, frankly speaking. I just got a DPIIT recognition saying that yes, this is the number. Yeah, so basically I realized, it's a lot of marketing for sure, and a lot of people may have been getting the benefits, but somehow I could not get anything out of it. And end of the day, it all boils down to you being a founder. Are you really having a belief in what you want to do? If you have to go for it. And you, of course, have to manage a lot of things. I got a lot of gray hair in just last 2 years. But then, yes, someone just, I think the issue that I could see is that from a youth standpoint, the awareness about some of the benefits, like we were just discussing about a 3-year tax benefit that you can get, tax vacation, you may call it. Somehow we got to know about it a little late. And then I think ma'am also said the same thing, that we did not know it. So somehow the awareness is something, while there are a lot of marketing thing happened, a lot of gumbo about it, but somehow those things did not reach out to the right people. So what I see is that in terms of the policy making, maybe right in the e-cells or right at the college level, if you are able to educate kids about the future, how a startup can go from stage A to stage B and to stage C, and what kind of benefits government provides at this level, I believe is something which is very important for everyone to know. That may be a very good, I would say, addition into their whole plan of action. And apart from that, the funding is, as sir mentioned, is anyways challenging these days. So I have been trying myself out to pitch to some of the investors, and everyone looks for a business model, and I think that's one aspect of it, that okay, you have a business model, and have you really executed it? So So I think that these AICs or these centers will help us in giving that exposure to people that okay, execute that model while you have thought of it. I think only then you can go for funding. So there needs to be extensive support and help required to get these ideas executed on the ground so that you can at least prove that yes, they work. So funding will only be available after that is what I would see, because spending 3 years now, that's what everyone asks for. Like, what's your current revenue? How far you have gone? How many clients? Are you profitable? And being a bootstrapped company, it's definitely a challenging one to go through the whole situation the way it is, considering the world scenario as well. So I believe some execution support and handholding is required to get to a point where you can go for funding. Yeah, that's my bet.
Thank you, Saurabh. He also covered one of the questions that I was about to ask, that role of these education institutions in just promoting the startup. So he very well covered in that. And even Rounaq sir has covered a particular thing that all these institutions play a very vital role in just framing all these startup policies, because you are the young budding minds, I will say. If we just talked about the Mark Zuckerberg, it is also in the college itself where he started that particular Facebook. So it's not a good early state. You're already a developed mind. You just need to have an idea that from here I want to start. It's just about clearing some of the exam that you will clear in down the line 1 year, 1.5 years. After that, you need to just put up your idea. You need to start your ideas. And today, the government is having all those policies. This startup policies became way back in 2016. And altogether, the government is paying 2,500 CR per year for all these startups. All these cities, out of 36 that particular time, 31 cities have implemented this particular startup thing, that they are having the incubation centers and they are providing funding to each and every incubation center. So to have that particular privilege which other generations are not having, the government is providing subsidies. The Saurabh sir is telling that we have the tax rebate. If you start your own venture and you get it registered to the startup, we even need not to pay taxes for 3 years. Just imagine that you can have X number of turnover and you need not to pay single tax. Government is paying you the money, you just play on our money, take the risk. You just have some idea. They will provide you all sort of facilities, all the diligence, all the professionals and everything. You just need to have some idea. So this is the best platform where you have your mentors, you have the faculties, you have the infrastructure. You just need to came out after the books with the idea that I want to implement this particular thing. That how the faculties can help it out. If the faculties can provide you support, they can make you connected with all these startups that they started their own ventures and they are sitting in front of you. So you should get best out of them. But if I just talk about what are the benefits of collaboration between the government and the private sector in promoting these startups, because we just talk about the government policy. What role the private sector is also playing in promoting all these startups?
So, for my understanding, private sector, which correct? Corporate.
Private venture or BNI or HLA, private work investors, whatsoever, how they are helping out. Because policy is one thing.
No.
How these institutions are playing roles.
So let me break it to two segments, I think. One is that, like the government and corporate. Right? See, government has to do two roles. In my opinion, this is very personal. One is that they should make the policy, which can be very, very easy and friendly for the, like the founders as well as investors. So I personally welcome the new rule of angel tax exemption that has been already removed. So this is very welcoming, like the changes done by the government of India. And this will again, create a very vibrant democratizations of the angel investment, where everybody can go into the angel investment. Let's say, suppose if you have 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, you can join some syndicator and then you can become the investor because you do not have any tax liabilities there. So definitely this policy impacts very, very large. And government has to make very friendly and supportive policy. Second thing is that, this is my very personal opinion, government should not become the implementing agency. The moment government itself will start, implementations of the, the activities or the programs, then the other people may not be able to compete. For example, let's say if some kind of accelerator program run by government, then the other accelerator will never compete with the government. So in that way, it would be very, very challenging ecosystem, and it may be very chaotic ecosystem. So government as a policy maker and enabler and support provider, and private player should become the implementing agency under the PPP model. For example, like any institution like us, government itself is starting the incubation center, then it would be very difficult for the other incubation. So all this implementation should be through the private players and private agencies, strategic startup. So not is a simple startup where you have to conceive one idea and start it and making the pitch to many investors. That's of course there, like Saurabh is a great hustler. He is hustling, and that is obviously one of the characteristics of the madam, and all these people are doing so. But you can start, let's say suppose, if you have interest into agriculture, then first thing you can identify opportunity from the agriculture sector. How would you identify the opportunity? There are 2-3 ways. One is that you start making a list of 100 agriculture corporates. You can create a list of 100 agriculture corporate and look what are they doing. There are a lot of corporates who have started the problem statement, and they are looking the companies or the startup or the ideas who are working on that or want to work on that. For example, I have been advising to the HPCL, ONGC, GAIL, and all the policy making. I was one of the part of the policy creator of this energy sector's startup program. So if you visit their websites, they have already created the list. If your idea is coming into this, please apply here. That's called the strategic startup, where you have the strategic alignment with the corporate. Then it is very easy for the taking off into the market, because they infuse you money. They also infuse you their infrastructure and their set network, and like the lot of things, right? And paid POC, pilot opportunity, and maybe tomorrow you may have the better acquisition opportunity also. Of course, all the big fishes are looking for the small fishes from that eyes. So, but yes, this is the strategic startup is the new ecosystem where, as a private player, I am seeing the great ecosystem is emerging into this country. Yeah.
So as Sir mentioned about ONGC, GAIL and HPCL, I recently actually applied for Maruti Suzuki Challenge. This was specifically because we are into video analytics, and we have done some sort of implementations around that. So for their auto industry, they had a specific, they were inviting applications from startups who are into the same area, and we applied for it maybe just 2 weeks back. So we have not yet heard it, but yes, from the aspect of how private players can contribute. So yes, you should definitely look for such I would say challenges maybe on Google, and look up and see if you can apply to one of them. I think that definitely is a great way of exploiting your own potential and seeing whether you can actually build something which is required by the private players.
That's quite true, sir. And if we just talk about the private sectors, just funding, they take it as a business opportunity only, because always we have the banks in the government system. The government is providing the funds now. But the private players, because there are some assignments, it might be possible the government agency will not accept. So private players took it as an opportunity. Obviously, they have the risk attached, but they started this particular concept. Even if the banks are not providing the funds, we have the NBFC concept. You must have studied in your MBA. When NBFCs are there, those who are providing the funding to the companies in different ways. Same likewise, the private sector is playing a vital role because government can't be all together there. They have to follow some policies and regulations. So in private sectors, they are charging some different percentage, but they are promoting all these startups. Reason being, just like I discussed, that to start anything, the basic requirement is of the funds only. Either about the administration or the infrastructure or the R&D, you just need the funds. But if I just talk about, sir, that what are the biggest opportunities and threats that the Indian ecosystem, startup ecosystem will face down the line after 5 years or 10 years? What are the biggest opportunities India has and what can be the biggest threats in the Indian startup ecosystem?
I think this is a very big question. And coming to that question before, this is the new I word. So basically, like that part, it has been funding one of our boss say. Actually, like the funding, one is the private player, like the Indian investment platform and the micro VCs or micro VCs fund. Seriously, they will not give you money. Right? Until you have a very good network with them. So, the second option, what is left? So, Saurabh, I will again request you please, like, keep hammering the incubators. That's the best route for the initial. When nobody gives money, then this Startup India scheme, incubator own fund, these all are very good funding support. And of course, that's very small. Maybe you're already 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 25 lakh, up to 50 lakh maximum. But that's a very, very good amount when you have nothing in your hand, even you have not built the product, right? You are just coming with a hypothetical idea which would be evaluated by the experts, and then they will, like offer the incubation and further, like the funding through the government scheme. So at this stage, government fund is really making a great impact, and it's a matter of the research. So I request one of the faculty member or maybe like the student to explore the research. What is the impact of a Startup India fund? Right? That's a very, very interesting topic to be researched. Coming back to your question, sir, opportunities and threat. India is a populous country, and like every problem we are facing, like the problem everywhere. So entrepreneurship can be, or like any business can be built on two things. One is that either you are solving the problem or you are serving the need. And India is suffering for both. We have a lot of need. Look for the need. What is the need? If you can make enterprise just to serve that need, maybe healthcare is a need, education is a need, food is a need, right? Air is a need, lot of water is a need, shelter is a need, livelihood is a need, right? Lot of things are coming under the need. You go deep dive about that, what is the need? And then the problem. Pollution is a problem, accounting system is a problem, management is a problem, this problem, that problem, everywhere is the problem. Just build this solution. And that solutions must be monetized. Right? जितना सीरियस पेन होगा, जितना ज्यादा नीड जरूरी होगी, उतना ज्यादा जल्दी सेल हो जाएगा. दूसरा ये होता है कि अगर नीड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, then it will take time, right? And third, enterprise normally built on the basis of aspiration. When basically you do not have need, you do not have problem, but you have the aspirations to buy, like the Apple phone. That's aspiration. I can manage well with this. But seriously, I was fighting to buy, like the next one iPhone, right? So if you can understand what are the aspirations of the India as a country. So all these three things, there is a huge opportunities among us. Big opportunity. We have to serve need, we have a lot of problem, and we have a lot of aspiration. Right? भाई बगल वाले क्या एलईडी टीवी आ गई, हमारे यहाँ भी आनी चाहिए. भाई साहब रामअवतार जी ने जो है सब कार बदल ली है, मेरी भी कार बदलनी चाहिए. These all are the aspiration. So we have as a business, as an entrepreneurship, huge opportunity. The threat, as Sir was asking, I see, like from my eyes, whatever I have learned from all the startups as a student and the ecosystem, threat is actually, like the death of idea, death of businesses, and yes, of course, death of businesses and death of ideas is one of the threats I am seeing into this ecosystem particularly. For example, Mr. Saurabh, there are three big value of deaths for your enterprise life cycle. One is that you come with the idea, and idea never take off. So idea itself dies, right? Every day thousands of ideas coming into your mind and it is dying. So that's a big threat. Ideas will die, and sometimes beautiful ideas are dying. Reason I cannot go, that's a big subject, right? And lot of factor analysis, and then sari faculty lag jayenge t-test and chi-square test or regression analysis, and this that model apply hone lagega, right? So factor analysis mein hum chale jayenge. So that's a different thing. Second is that when you have converted the idea, but it is not making the market fit. So if it is not market fit, यानी सेल नहीं हो पा रहा है, तो वहां में भी आपकी डेथ हो जाती है एंटरप्राइज की. That's the second big value of death. And third, which we are witnessing, and in fact, we as a team have started working on that by learning our portfolio, that you are able to make good revenue, 1 crore, 2 crore revenue you are reaching, but you are not able to scale, right? And because of, you do not able to understand what is the business management, what is the business administration, how you can introduce the unit, how you can integrate, and how you can become the professional CEO. Most of the time, a technology person conceive idea and then stick with the CEO position. So loving is that position, I don't know, but you know that CEO is not the ownership. CEO is not the ownership, right? But so much love with the positions, they don't want to give up. They don't want to leave the CEO positions, right? So, and they do not have the, the mindset of the CEO. They do not have to develop, they have to spend time into the technology. Their mindset is like a technology guy, but they are playing the role of the CEO. So that's a major challenge in terms of, taking off and scaling the business. So these are the three bigger challenge and on, the threats I'm seeing in terms of, the startup ecosystem and on.
So I can add just one thing. Sir has explained it very beautifully. One note that I see with being a startup, I can say making it profitable is another big challenge, which again boils down to all these factors that he's already mentioned. So making it profitable, maybe you have a profitable model, but then there are certain things that are making you, making it not able to make your company profitable. So that is where another one, mentors and incubation centers and people like the other ecosystem can help us helping, because when we are into it, we don't understand what exactly is the problem with us. We are doing it the best possible way within our capabilities. But someone from outside can look at us and tell us where we are going wrong or can improve, or what are the the factors that are stopping us from being profitable. So that is where I think we can add on some capability to the startups, and we can have some mentors and they can guide us how and where we can improve and make it more profitable.
So the discussion is actually quite detailed one. If you look at that, right, it's not that easy and straightforward. But to what Sir mentioned, again, sharing my experience being a tech person, yeah, I know I can do something, you can solve a problem. But yeah, running a business is a different ballgame altogether. And I have been fortunate enough that I have my brothers who have been into business for the last 30 years, so they tell me, ye galat kar raha hai, aise nahi hona chahiye, waise hona chahiye. They only know about business, they don't know about IT, which is okay, but at least I get a lot of feedback from them. And a lot of my colleagues, ex-colleagues have told, Saurabh, to businessman nahi hai. I'm not able to ask for money what I should be asking for. So yes, so I think as a founder, what I feel is that you as a person, you need to do your own introspection. You should know what are your strengths. You should know what are your weaknesses. On that note, and you have to make sure you look for a feedback as feed forward. You cannot be, having an ego saying, "Arey, मैंने company बनाई है, मैं जैसे चाहता हूँ ऐसा चलेगा." ऐसा नहीं होता है. People end of the day are looking for a profitable business, so focus on how to make it profitable. While you may have been the person who have thought of the idea, you may have innovated something, but you need a team to work with. So that's something on that note. It's actually the person who is the founder, how and what he wants to achieve out of it is, I think, very important. And profitability is what people look for. Now coming to the threats and opportunities, I would like to add some of the opportunities here for you guys, because you all are new here and you're thinking out loud of what we can do, and you all must be thinking, यार कुछ idea निकालना है, कुछ तो interesting लेके आओ तो शायद कुछ हम वहीं pitch करें. So I think you should look for this way that the India is kind of digitizing. I think now the whole world. We eventually reach UPI to various countries, and we are digitizing at a very fast pace. So a lot of data is gonna be there, and it's already being produced across various segments and aspects, because we're getting online and everything is online. The specific you can say IoT industry is producing a lot of data. So think if you can build something out of data as an enterprise, and there are a lot of tools. And just to let you know, like these days I'm hiring a lot of Python developers. So everyone comes and say, I want to be a data scientist. And people and kids don't even understand what is data from that standpoint. So you all have to first of all be data literate. That is very important for you all to understand that, okay, in a particular domain, what that data means, and maybe data literacy can help you identify an idea which can be a big one. I am working with one of the organizations right now. We are actually building data analytics platform where we are sourcing data from let's say Excel sheets or some videos or photos, a lot of handwritten notes, and we are trying to generate some insights out of it. That itself could be one big idea to build an enterprise on. So data is something which I would highlight as one of the opportunities coming forward if you are aware of a tech aspect. The other side that I see, because you being the professionals from the MBA background, while AI/ML is going to, of course, take us by storm, and it's already taken when ChatGPT was introduced, it may eventually happen that a lot of interfaces will be digitized and you will have avatars talking to you eventually. I was talking to someone in Oman, and they're working on some idea of interview being taken by an avatar. So you are in front of the computer and you are answering to questions, and this AI model is evaluating you, your facial expressions along with what your answers are. So eventually we will be ending up in a situation where a lot of interfaces will be changed to these avatars or robots or whatever, but you should look for the businesses wherein human touch will always be required. Maybe think of those areas where a human person is required. As an example, like a lot of events, like this kind of interaction will still have to happen. Maybe we think of more, but yes, professions where you think human touch is required, maybe those could be areas to watch for as an opportunity is what I see. I think ma'am is in one of the areas where a lot of people need homestays, and what she mentioned was that yes, she wanted to keep the character of that home as intact. So yes, a lot of people would like to roam around, go out as they earn. So yes, such kind of professions maybe you should look for as opportunities as well. Yeah.
At this point, right, that we want them get the inspiration from any place. All the inspirations are sitting in front of you. You can have the inspiration from their life, that from which background they came and what setup they have developed. And Saurabh is quite right that we should have the fire in our belly. Till the time we have the zeal, we will not get any assistance from any other place. We should have that particular zeal, because we have also listened that if you पूरी शिद्दत से किसी चीज को चाहो तो पूरी कायनात आपको मिलाती है. तो पूरी कायनात आपके सामने है. That is your particular college, your mentors, all the people sitting over there. That if you have any sort of idea, just like Rounaq ji is saying that India is number one in terms of population. As the population is increasing, the needs are increasing. As the needs are increasing, the problems are increasing. And where there is a problem, there are the opportunities. There is a need of innovations. So just think about the era in which you are. This is the best time for the innovation, because day by day, if you think about the innovation that being done 20 years back, they don't have that technology background. You are just having all sort of technology, all the social platforms, all the internet facilities. There was no movement 25 years back. They're having all sorts of facilities. The college is providing, the organizing such of the programs. So you can just have best of the time from this particular institution. So before proceeding further, because if we are just teaching them all the formulas of mathematics and not concerning of the 1 to 3, so I think let us ask the question from the participants, because we might be thinking that they are listening to us and they are understanding. But I think the basics should be clear, because it's your idea. It's your entrepreneurship. It's you need to have the funds, you need to have all the activities. You are the participant of that incubation centers. If you have any idea, any question, like how you want to start your entrepreneurship, how to develop. If you have any questions, just consider it as the last day of your MBA. Your MBA is completed. Now you are a product in the market. You need to sell yourself. What services you can take, how best product you can be, and what facilities you require to develop yourself. What assistance you would want from your college, from your institution, from the government. If you have any question related to the startup, if you have any question related to the incubation, or in general, you can ask that particular question from all the panelists. Yes, please.
Sir, if someone have an idea about life as fast as it, and they'll have to think about it.
Hello.
Sir, my question is that if someone have an idea about a business, which is already there existing in the market, but some flaws are there in that business, and if I have a unique idea about that flaws, then how that can be solved. So sir, if that business is already existing, and I'm going with a solution that I can make a better business than that, then that kind of a idea is entertained or not. I wanted to know that. May I do with something? With something. It's okay because you all are doing so. Yes, but we are facing this kind of a question all the time. So I think this is the mindset problem.
Just like told in the beginning of the session that your college is in process of setting its own incubation centers. So there will be such facilities. If you have any doubt related to that, you just contact your mentors. There are government agencies, there are government incubation centers, those who will facilitate you in each and every manner. Not just related to the funding, to the right guidance also, with the right people also, with the right infrastructure also, they will provide it each and everywhere. So you're saying something? Yeah.
Yeah, just to add, and I can understand time is also up. So, how to start a startup is the basic question, right? And especially, a student. So, how to start a startup from college? Let me go more, clear hypothesis question. Very simple step. When you are doing the study, be part of the ESET, right? If you do not have the ESET, normally every college has ESET. ESET should not be a club. It should not be like a cultural club. Make it out from the cultural club. Make it as a student-run organization. As ABVP runs, NSUI runs. In this similar model, you run the ESET as a student-run organization for a student. And the mandate is to inculcate the entrepreneurial culture. So number one, you become the part of the ESET, right? And then you keep doing a lot of workshop, events, business challenges. At least you should participate into 10 business challenges during your MBA program. I am Ahmedabad जाओ, I am Lucknow जाओ, Jaipuria जाओ, पता नहीं कहाँ जाओ, ठीक है? हर जगह अप्लाई करो अपने आइडियाज को without thinking XYZ. At least you should pitch your idea at 10 platform, right? And conduct all these pitching programs under the ESET activities in your campus also. Run one business plan competition, annual business plan competition every year from your ESET, right? And give the opportunities to everyone. And this all will be run by a student, not faculty. Let me tell you, ये faculty का job नहीं है. I was into IIM and I have been into this complete ecosystem from last 15-16 years. I built about 5-6 TBI. I am Lucknow, BITS Pilani, Chitkara, JSS, DTU, everywhere, right? I am giving you all these suggestions with the experience of 20 years almost, right? This is the step one. इतने में आपके पास बहुत सारी अकल आ जाएगी, आपके पास नेटवर्क बन जाएगा, आपके पास कनेक्ट बन जाएगा, right? Once you are close to the MBA graduations, then you have to take a call. अगर आपके पास लोन चल रहा है तो वो कैसे मिटिगेट करोगे वो आप देखिए. I cannot have any suggestion idea, and no institution can play a role. We have started a program increasing the moratorium period with the negotiation of a state bank, but it doesn't happen, right? Because bank has their own system. At IIM Lucknow, we were doing that. कि भाई आप 2 साल की जगह पे 5 साल मोरेटोरियम कर दो, एंड हमने डिबार्ट प्लेसमेंट भी डाल दिया, ठीक है, डेफर्ड प्लेसमेंट भी डाल दिया. बट ये सब चीजें कुछ काम नहीं करती है क्योंकि आपके ऊपर लोन है, आप टेंशन में हो. आपकी फैमिली ये चाहती है कि भैया तू जा जॉब करके आ, पहले अपना लोन चुकता कर, उसके बाद में बिजनेस सोचियो, राइट? एंड एवरी फैमिली बैकग्राउंड इज डिफरेंट. अगर ये टेंशन नहीं है तुम्हें लोन का, तो एटलीस्ट आप अपने पेरेंट्स से 2 साल मांग लो कि फादर मदर गिव मी 2 years. If I am not able to build anything within 2 years, I will do whatever you want. और इस 2 साल में आप अपने आप को समर्पित कर दो. You marry with your startup idea, right? I am telling you, I have worked with the ओयो रितेश के साथ, ये सब स्टूडेंट इंटरप्राइजेस है, राइट? एटलीस्ट आई हैव वर्कड विथ like 2025 Red Bus Fani. When I was at BITS Pilani, he was building that. Exactly when they moved to Bangalore, they started it. But like the concept started at BITS Pilani, right? So this is the best way to proceed if you are seriously looking to start, considering all the factors of your family challenges. That's very, very important. It's not that you cannot ignore all those, right? There has to be, like the considerations of all this. But you ask 2 years from your parents, and then you have the incubation. हजारों incubation है, आपके अपने यहाँ है, आपके बाहर है, IITs में है, IIM में है, कहीं भी आप जा सकते हो. अपने कॉलेज में है, वहाँ कर लो. आपको स्पेस दे देंगे लोग, जगह दे देंगे, फैकल्टीज आपके साथ सपोर्ट कर देगी. Everything can fall in, right? But the challenge is that with the student enterprise stimulations. Oh, it will be helpful, or if you want to add it.
I just want to add that these people, I mean, new people are very lucky. The time you are starting is the best time for any startup. I think the ecosystem is so positive in this time. When we started, I mean, it was around like 20 years back. So we had to, there was no startup culture at that time. So starting then was a big challenge for you. It's so easy. There are so many supports, so much of support system you have that it's like if you have an idea, if you have a thought, even if it's like already there in the market, if you have the way to do it, a better way to do it, you are in for a great time in business opportunity.
In business competition, what's the first step?
Yeah, I think sir's point is very valid, guys. So you are lucky that he's here and he's giving you so much. I hope पहले शायद वो 40% लोगों ने हाथ उठाया था. अभी क्या लगता है सब लोग स्टार्टअप करना चाहते हैं? Do you guys want to raise your hand that yes you want to do a startup?
Yes.
How many?
Brilliant.
देखो यार गुड. तो मैं बस आई थिंक आप लोगों को एक कुछ बोलना चाहता हूँ on this note only that you know I think what I feel is being a student हम लोग ना एक बहुत ही protected culture से आते हैं. हम लोगों का traditional learning यही है कि people have just told us ये करो, ये पढ़ो, ये कर लिया and you're done. And here also you're thinking कि कोई आपको बताएगा भाई ये idea है और इसको business में convert कर दो. ऐसा नहीं होगा. So you have to somehow come out of your comfort zone. That is something which is very important. और उसी के लिए सर ने बोला कि यार 10 जगह जाओ, you will realize where you are and what you are. And I happened to witness IIT Kanpur and IIT Bombay E-Cell. And ma'am, I think you should try something out like that. Like final year students were at the stage managing everything else. Third year students were doing coordination with let's say.
We are in talk with IIT Bombay.
Great, that's good, ma'am. Because what I found was that when I was putting up a showcase there, one of the first year, 3-4 students came to my stall and they were trying to set up something for me. And I said, "Oh, अच्छा, आप लोग students हो?" "Yes, sir, हम लोग हमने ऐसा किया." And they were supposed to put up the banners for me as per the stall. They had to get the stall ready, and it was not done in the right way. So I said, like, "घबराओ नहीं यार, तुम लोगों को जिम्मेदारी दी गई है ना, तो focus on the जिम्मेदारी and make it happen right now." So the idea here is that you have to come out of that comfort zone and take on those responsibilities. Take the accountability and do something. Actually, सबसे पहले that should be your starting point wherein आप यहाँ college में responsibilities लोग कुछ करके दिखाओ. Maybe idea तो है ही, उसके अलावा भी have confidence in you that yes you can do anything and everything. But start with something. And एक चीज और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, if you want to really do something as a person, because it is your thought, it's your baby and you want to do it, you don't have to blame anyone. So no excuses, no blames, no justification. You know what you have thought of, you want to make it happen, let's make it happen. So end of the day you will eventually get some experience even though you fail. So that is what matters the most.
एक सेंटेंस के बाद मैं क्लोज बिकॉज यू नो लाइक आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड. सी देखो एक इनसाइट मैं देना चाह रहा था आपको. यू कैन गूगल एवरी ईयर ऑलमोस्ट 80 lakhs are graduating. 80-85 lakhs are graduating, including management, engineering, art, science. Understand, 80 lakhs people are graduating every year. And if everybody is asking job, do you think is it possible? Second point, what I wanted to raise here, you guys are doing MBA from Jaipuria. 140 करोड़ की आबादी वाला मुल्क जहां कई लोग आज भी भूखे सो जाते हैं, उसमें आप कितने बड़े प्रिविलेज्ड हो कि आप MBA प्रोग्राम कर रहे हो. यानी you reach to the top row. You became into the premium category. This is not because of you. This is because of your parents. They have done their job remarkably well. Now it's your turn. क्या आप जो फर्स्ट रो यहाँ पे खड़े हो गए हो, कहीं फिर से वो पीछे की क्राउड में ना पुल कर दिए जाओ. सो यू हैव टू थिंक वेरी सीरियसली कि इस 80 लाख में से 1-2% तो जॉब क्रिएटर बन जाओ. अगर 1-2% भी जॉब क्रिएटर बनने लगे तो दिस कंट्री कैन बिकम लाइक व्हाटएवर यू वांट. So this is our challenge. This is our like the challenge for the youth. You have to take this leadership role, keeping in your mind that 80 lakhs are graduating at least to be 2%, 3% people of every college has to adopt entrepreneurship as a career option. There is no option there. And get all the support system, whatever. Right? This is what I just wanted to convey, that is very, very important for all of us. And that's why the government is also very, very, aggressively supporting the entrepreneurship, and so everywhere. Whole world on that. So all the best from my side. I wish you good luck. And I hope, few of you will become the entrepreneurs tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for my side.
Thank you so much, all the panelists, for just sharing all your inputs with the startups. And sir is quite right that in the every class the teacher is same, but the result is different. So I wish that some of the bigger entrepreneur will come up soon in the market from this Jaipuria Institute only. And sir is quite right that we should focus on our skills only. One should not have the question at how to start, from where to start, from where I will get. For that, you have the vectors. Firstly, try to develop the idea and focus just on your skills. And the Jaipuria complete staff is there to support you, to guide you, to navigate you. You need to believe in yourself. All the best for your future endeavors.